Okay, so woke up at 6:30 a.m. It's been an hour and 15 minutes. Still haven't had breakfast. I made a gaming video and I made a gonna make a political video. What I decided was I got a science folder, I got a literature folder, I got a Disney movies folder and I got my literature folder, I have my books. I have a Mlad Labs folder where I talk about my company, and now I added games and politics as well. And what I have is a document where I just go by the dates and I just add new shit. I have like the standard stuff, and I have, as the times go along, what happened with each date. So I have like a progress document, of what my analysis of politicals, games, science, books, movies, all that stuff is. And I got it all in the document. Every time I come up with a new idea, you can either post it on social media, you can post a video onto YouTube, or you can craft a document. If it's really important, I'll craft a document even for stock history and stock investments, whatever my ideas are. I'll craft a document if it's large enough and important enough. So I got all my thoughts organized into engineered documents. So that being said, I made this document about the political landscape now for outlook for 2026. And this video explains the points in the document. So everybody knows about the biggest issue are the wars and the tariffs. Now tariffs are being crazy levels of in excess of 100%. And then there are counter tariffs, and these involve everything from steel, aluminum, wood, anything manufacturing related, for vehicles especially. And then it extends from there. Somebody puts a tariff on you for aluminum and vehicle parts. You put a tariff on them for coffee and grain. And then somebody else puts a tariff on oil. So everything is now tariffed, and it's levels in excess of 100%. Over 100% tariffs. So that leads to trade wars and creates tensions and eventually leads to real wars. We got the Middle East. We got Russia, Ukraine, local wars. And we got USA versus the Orient. China, Russia, Korea versus USA, Britain, France, Canada, Germany, Europe. The European Union versus Saudi Arabia, China, Russia. Those are the two separate spectrums. And you got Israel and the Middle East mixed in there as well. So if the Middle East were to join with Saudi Arabia, Russia, China, Korea, and USA and the European Union were backing Israel, or just USA alone, not even the European Union, just USA backing Israel, and the Arabs being backed by Saudi Arabia, China, Russia, North Korea, that would be World War III, and that would be the end of humanity. That would be end of humanity. And of course, nobody's doing anything to de-escalate the situation. Everybody wants to measure the size of their cocks. So there's no more peace. There's no more culture. There's no more travel. There's no more globalism. It's all whose dick is bigger. And corruption and greed. Who can sell more? Who can produce more? Who can generate more income? Who can have more things, more power? The same as it's always been. They want more power. They want more profits. And this is why these other topics that I'm going to list off have been far neglected. Cost of living and inflation. The average age of a home buyer is a 50-year-old couple. When my parents were getting married, they were getting married in their 20s and buying homes in their 30s. Now we are buying homes as a couple in our 50s with no retirement saving. We can't even afford rent. We can't even afford rent, let alone a mortgage down payment. It's so funny. I'm seeing all these big shot ballers, software engineer, doctor, a fucking doctor in England, software engineer in California, in New York City, a New York City motherfucking software engineer in New York City. And they are in a fucking room the size of this fucking room is where they're making hundreds of videos from. My home, this room. Software engineer, New York City, big time, big shot, New York City. He made it, she made it. Room rent the size of this. And they're sharing with the roommate, and they're sharing with the goddamn roommate. Doctor, working in Great Britain, renting a fucking wooden apartment renting. Because they're not a 50-year-old couple and can't afford a new fucking home. A fucking $5 million home for one that's as big as this home. Then you got crime and conservatism. No one gives a shit. Crime is rampant. You got immigrants committing crime. No one does any time. Then you got liberalism and progressiveness. Only the woke ideology. They're gatekeepers. I don't know for why or for whom. Only the woke ideology is being progressed into liberalism. Then you got education and healthcare. My two core philosophies. There's three. If I was a prime minister or president, I would focus on healthcare, education, and the economy. Healthcare, education, and the economy. These are all in the fucking shitter. Because everyone's focusing on tariffs, greed, power, profits, trade wars, real wars, AI and technology and energy resources, and nobody gives two fucks about education, healthcare, or the economy. So that's why it's all going to shit, just like it's always been. Poverty and homelessness, food banks skyrocketing. I shit you not. Food banks in the past 5 years in Canada have gone up 500%. 500%. Food banks is now like your daily activity. You go to school, you go to sports, you come home, you go to the food bank. You go to school, you go to sports, you come home, you go to the food bank. It's become a staple of everyday life in Canada. Then you got mental health and counseling. I know nothing about that. The youth, I know nothing about that. And finally, the economy, job market, and profits. Everyone is underpaid. Salaries have gone up 50% in the past 20 years. 50% in the past 20 years. But the cost of living has gone up 400% in the past 20 years. But staff salaries have gone up 50% in the past 20 years. We got AI, no opportunities, and getting an education will cost you $100,000. So that's only for the luxurious rich only. And all of this is to say that profits are soaring. Profits are motherfucking soaring. We've never been so profitable. We are injecting, fat cats are injecting themselves. You know the wage gap between the rich and the poor? It's like the Saturn, Venus, and Uranus mystical galaxies of wonder. Fucking everybody's raising prices. Video game, Sony, Nintendo, PlayStation, Microsoft, Xbox raising their prices. Netflix, Disney Plus, Spotify raising their prices. Sports streaming services going up double and triple in price. Everything's raising their prices. Food prices, gasoline prices, energy bills, rent prices, home prices, clothing prices, technology prices, smartphones, laptops, all the things you need to work and live a normal life. the iPhone, everything is fucking on steroids, which means companies are making not, I can't even say record anymore. Record is not the appropriate word. They're making literally trillionaire profits. How many companies are trillionaires right now? Trillion, not billion. Stop saying billion, stop saying million, start saying trillionaires. Trillionaires. So profits are booming. Like Saturn, Venus, and Uranus, galaxies of wonder, mystical magic. And fucking wages are 60K, 40K, 100K. If you're an engineer or a doctor, you will make 140K, 150K. I just saw a software engineer with 15 years of fucking experience making 140K in California. 140K in California is like 70K regular state. So he's making 70K with 15 years of experience, software engineer. But the companies you work for, what did we say? No millionaire, no billionaire, trillionaire. Trillionaire. Microsoft, Apple, trillionaire. Sony, Nintendo, trillionaire. So that is the outlook for the economy. Nobody gives one shit. Doesn't look like it's changing anytime fucking soon. So I don't know what the fuck you're smiling about and giggling about and laughing about when everything is a tire fuck. So peace.